Hey, what's up? It's Privacy J here. It's time for another Sunday's live stream. So it's I haven't done doing this topics for this during the Sunday's live stream, so it's been a while. For now, it's 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 autumn, it's fall right now, so what we know, so get ready for Halloween to dress up as a costumes to wear. So just and get some candies just to understand. So we only got 29 days left for the Halloween. Now, before we get to this topic, just a reminder, for this announcement as myself, the video of the Sentinel will be delayed. I'm trying to work on it, so I'll let you guys know when it be delayed, or when it's going to be uploaded. So I'll let you guys know when. I'll keep you guys updated for more. So anyways, let's go to today's topics. So what we know so far, what we talk about is Samsung's developing a wireless charging hub, possibly for the Galaxy S23 for what to expect next year, according to the article. So let's read. First topic.
Samsung is developing a new wireless charging accessory that appears to have the word hub in its name, indicating that it should be capable of recharging multiple devices at once, including Galaxy smartphones and smartwatches. Given its moniker, the so-called wireless charger hub could recharge devices both wirelessly and otherwise. Our colleagues at Galaxy Club speculate that the wireless charger hub might be a successor to the wireless charger trio Samsung released back in 2020 alongside the Galaxy Note 20, Z Fold 2, Galaxy Watch 3, and Galaxy Buds Live. Furthermore, this upcoming accessory might be released around the same time as the Galaxy S23 lineup early next year.
Next paragraph.
Wireless charger hub specs and pricing details are unknown, but we're guessing that the device could cost about the same as the wireless charger trio, which debuted in 2020 for $99. Time will tell. It's worth noting that Samsung also appears to be working on a charger that carries model number EP-P9500. Although it's hard to be certain at this point, the model number could correspond to the wireless charger hub. Whether the wireless charging hub will follow the same design principles as the wireless charger trio, i.e., whether or not it will be flat, remains to be seen. It might have a different shape, given that Samsung's new Galaxy Watch 5 Pro doesn't quite work with flat wireless chargers unless the D-buckle strap is removed first. Samsung released a charging cradle yesterday to address this issue, and it looks quite unconventional by Samsung's wireless charger standards.
Next paragraph.
You may have any number of reasons why you want to learn how to hide apps on Android.
Whoa. Steady, but you might start with the Y in it. Try again. My mistake.
You may have any number of reasons why you want to learn how to hide apps on Android devices, whether it's to keep work apps out of reach of the little ones or sensitive apps away from prying eyes. Perhaps you just want to hide dating apps on your phone. Knowing how to hide apps is crucial to maintaining your privacy. Exactly what happens when you hide apps on Android? Nobody will be able to find them if they're scrolling through the phone. This doesn't mean there aren't other ways to find them. Your Play Store app installs history will show which apps you've downloaded. The app data folders will also remain on the device. The hidden app also won't appear in the launcher's search results. Even if someone tries to search for the app directly, they won't be able to find it. They will need to dig through the installed apps list in the settings menu or browse the internal storage to find the data folders. By then, you'll probably know what they're up to and snatch your phone away. Hiding apps is different from disabling them. Your device may come with pre-installed bloatware and system apps that can't be removed. Once disabled, these apps can no longer use system resources and slow down your phone. However, you may just want to hide apps while also being able to use them so that they don't show up in the launcher.
You may skip that. Anyways, next topic. Next topic. What we talk about, all we do we talk about what to expect from an Apple event in October, iPad Pro M2 Max. So according to the Apple Hub, but the Apple Hub uh, uh, Apple event does not happen this year, but I'll figure it out when. Anyways, let's start with the first paragraph, man.
Following its September event focused on new iPhone and Apple Watch models, Apple often holds another event in October focused on new iPad and Mac models, and this year will likely be no exception. October is still 3 weeks away, but we already have a good idea of the products that would likely be announced at an event next month.
Next paragraph.
For the October event, rumors suggest that Apple plans to announce new iPad Pro models with the M2 chip, a redesigned 10th generation entry-level iPad, and at least a few more Macs powered by the M2 series of chips, with potential candidates including the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, and/or the Mac Pro. iPad Pro with M2 chip. Apple plan to release new iPad Pro models with the M2 chip and MagSafe wireless charging support in October, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman. Both the 11-inch and 12.9-inch models of the iPad Pro are expected to be updated, but the 11-inch model is still not expected to feature a mini LED display. The next iPad Pro models will feature a similar chassis design as the current models, but with 4-pin connectors on the top and bottom edges, according to Japanese blog Mac. The purpose of these connectors and whether they would replace the existing 3-pin smart connector on the iPad Pro is unclear. Apple last updated the iPad Pro in April 2021 with new features including the M1 chip, a Thunderbolt port, 5G support for cellular models, a mini LED display on the 12.9-inch model, and an upgraded 12-megapixel front camera with support for Apple's center stage feature, which helps keep you within the frame in video apps like FaceTime. 10th generation iPad. Apple is expected to unveil a redesigned entry-level iPad in October with a larger 10.5-inch display, a USB-C port, and a flat-edge chassis with a rear camera bump. Other rumored features include an A14 Bionic chip and 5G support for cellular models. While the 10th generation iPad is expected to retain a Touch ID home button, rumors suggest the device will no longer have a headphone jack. A questionable report from Mac claimed that the 10th generation iPad will actually feature a Touch ID power button on the top edge of the chassis, like the latest iPad Air and iPad mini models. The report also claimed that the FaceTime camera could be positioned in the right bezel of the device for landscape usage. Apple released the 9th generation iPad in September 2021, with key features including a 10.2-inch display, an A13 Bionic chip, an upgraded 12-megapixel front camera with support for the center stage feature, True Tone, and doubled the base storage. In the US, the 10.2-inch iPad starts at $329 with 64 gigabytes of storage. More Macs with M2 chips in late August. Gurman said Apple had been working on M2-based Mac Mini, MacBook Pro, and Mac Pro models, adding that we were likely to see at least a pair of those machines about 2 months from now, which lines up with October. However, it is possible that some of these Macs could be announced later in the year or next year. Mac Mini with M2 and M2 Pro chips. Apple released the Mac Mini with an M1 chip as one of its first 3 Apple Silicon Macs in November 2020. Nearly 2 years later, a new version of the Mac Mini with an M2 chip is on the horizon, according to Gurman. Apple still sells a higher-priced Mac Mini configuration with Intel processors, but Gurman said it will be succeeded by a model with an M2 Pro chip. Macbook Pro with M2 Pro and M2 Max chips. Apple's next-generation 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models with M2 Pro and M2 Max chips are well into development and testing, and planned for release as early as this fall, according to Gurman. As usual in recent years, Gurman said the time frame could be pushed back due to supply chain disruptions or other factors.
Next paragraph.
While some reports suggested that the M2 Pro and M2 Max chips may be Apple's first 3-nanometer chips, it looks increasingly likely that the chips will remain 5 nanometers. The chips would still have modest performance improvements over the M1 Pro and M1 Max chips, and increases in GPU core counts and unified memory (RAM) are also likely. Mac Pro with M2 Ultra and M2 Extreme chips. After announcing the Mac Studio at its March 2022 event, Apple teased that an Apple Silicon version of the Mac Pro Tower was coming later. Back in 2020, Apple said its transition from Intel processors to Apple Silicon chips across the Mac lineup would take around 2 years to be completed, so the new Mac Pro is expected to be announced by the end of 2022. The new Mac Pro will be equipped with M2 Ultra and M2 Extreme chips, according to Gurman. It's possible the new Mac Pro will be smaller due to the switch to Apple Silicon, but it's unclear if the desktop computer will have any major design changes compared to the current Intel-based model released in December 2019. The new Mac Pro would be the fastest Mac ever, topping the Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra chip. Apple TV with a 14 chip. Apple plans to launch a new Apple TV with an improved cost structure in the second half of 2022, according to analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, but it's unclear if the device would be announced during the October event or at another time. A new Apple TV is in development with an A14 chip and 4 gigabytes of RAM, according to Gurman, but it's unclear if this model is the same one that Kuo referred to. Either way, the internal upgrades would result in faster performance compared to the current Apple TV 4K, which is equipped with an A12 chip and 3 gigabytes of RAM. Released in April 2021, the current Apple TV 4K starts at $179 with 32 gigabytes of storage, while the Apple TV HD remains available for $149. By comparison, there are many streaming sticks from brands like Chromecast and Roku available for between $25 and $100. iPadOS 16 and macOS Ventura release dates. Apple says iPadOS 16 and macOS Ventura will be released in October, and exact release dates will likely be announced at the event.
So, next topic. What we start with? Hold on. Oh wait, I think I got this. Here we go. 6 major products to expect from Apple in next year for 2023. So, read the next topic in this paragraph.
As we approach the end of a busy product release season for Apple with only new iPads and Macs left to be announced over the next month or so, we're also setting our sights on 2023. Apple is rumored to have several major products in the pipeline for next year, including new Macs, a new HomePod, a VR/AR headset, and so much more.
Next paragraph.
Other than new iPhones and Apple Watches, which are expected every year on a regular cadence, there are other products to look forward to from Apple. Below, We've rounded up 6 major products other than the iPhone 15 you can expect to launch next year, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman in his latest Power On newsletter. 15-inch MacBook Air. Apple is expected to release a 15-inch MacBook Air in 2023, as previously rumored and reaffirmed today by Gurman. The MacBook Air is rumored to be similar in display size to the 16-inch MacBook Pro, but with a thinner and lighter design. The current MacBook Air measures 13 inches, and the 15-inch MacBook Air would likely use the same design as the current model, which was introduced in June. iMac with M3 chip. Apple is working on a new iMac that it plans to launch next year, according to Gurman. The new iMac will feature the M3 Apple Silicon chip, but other details, including its design and size, have yet to be seen. Apple is also working on an iMac Pro, but whether that's the rumored M3 iMac or a separate standalone product is unclear. Apple TV, HomePod, and FaceTime camera all in one. Apple is working on a new product for the home that combines a HomePod with an Apple TV and a FaceTime camera. The product was originally reported in April 2021, and Gurman today said it could launch towards the end of 2023. The device's other capabilities would include standard Apple TV box functions like watching video and gaming, plus smart speaker uses such as playing music and using Apple's Siri digital assistant, Gurman said in a previous report. Additional details about the product, including its form factor and price, are not yet known, but with the launch possibly slated for sometime next year, more details may emerge in the coming months. Reality Pro headset. Perhaps one of the first Apple product introductions in 2023 will be the company's long-rumored AR/VR headset. According to several reports, Apple is planning to release its headset, which it may call Reality Pro, next year. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has reported that Apple is planning an event as soon as January to announce the new headset. New HomePod.
What is the new HomePod looks like? Next paragraph.
After discontinuing the product in March 2021, Apple is rumored to be working on a new, full-size HomePod to launch next year, according to Gurman and Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. According to Gurman, the new HomePod will be sized similarly to the original HomePod with improved audio quality and powered by the S8 chip from the Apple Watch Series 8. The new HomePod could launch as early as the first quarter of 2023, according to Kuo. Apple Silicon Mac Pro. One of the most anticipated product announcements of 2023 is a new Mac Pro, as the current version still features Intel processors. Rumors suggest the upcoming Mac Pro will feature the S23 Ultra chip with a 20-core CPU, up to a 64-core GPU, and 64 GB or 128 GB of unified memory. The Mac Pro is also expected to be offered with an M2 Extreme chip, which will have a 40-core CPU, up to a 128-core GPU, and at least 128 GB or 256 GB of unified memory.
Next topic. We talk about a big Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Upgrade is confirmed, says the new report. Read the next topic, please.
Yesterday, a reliable leaker posted Galaxy S23 Ultra renders, which showcased a largely unchanged design. Whether or not you are a fan of Galaxy S22 Ultra's design, it's hard to be excited that its successor will look the same. Design is only part of the story though, and another thing that makes premium S-series phones exciting is camera hardware, and per the latest rumor, the phone will for sure get a new main camera.
Paragraph.
The Galaxy S22 Ultra has more megapixels than most phones around, but Samsung has been using a 108MP camera for 3 years, and since it has a 200MP sensor ready, there is no reason not to equip the Galaxy S23 Ultra with it and brag about it. Dutch website Galaxy Club says it's certain that the Galaxy S23 Ultra will have a 200MP main camera. While it's no longer true that more megapixels always lead to better images, the megapixel resolution is still important as a higher count allows you to capture more details and gives you more room to play around with the images you capture. Galaxy S22 Ultra's 108MP sensor is a big reason why it's amongst the best camera phones of 2022. The 200MP sensor will be a big step up from the 108MP sensor, and previous rumors have said to expect significantly better images and videos. The sensor will only be a hair bigger than S22 Ultra's main unit and is also expected to have a larger aperture for light gathering. Galaxy Club has reiterated that the S23 Ultra will inherit S22 Ultra's 10MP periscope telephoto sensor with 10x zoom and 10MP telephoto module with 3x optical zoom. Nothing has been said about the ultra-wide sensor. The phone will likely retain the outgoing model's 6.8-inch display and 5,000 minutes of battery, but is tipped to feature a better fingerprint reader and the faster Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. The design will apparently be refined a bit, with the latest rumors and aforementioned renders suggesting the sides of the phone will be a little flatter and it will be somewhat taller and wider but thinner. The S22 Ultra was revealed in February, but now that Qualcomm is on track to launch the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 earlier than expected, one tipster believes the S23 range will also be released earlier.
Last topic. Because we don't have time. Let's see. Last topic: new MacBook Pros with M2 Pro and M2 Max Minis with M2 with M2 series and iPad Pro with Apple M2 chip, which could launch before next year. So read the last topic.
Earlier in the year, Apple introduced a redesigned MacBook Air and a minor refresh of the MacBook Pro with the latest M2 chip. As is custom, speculation was high that we'll see more devices featuring the new chip before 2023. Mark Gurman explains in his latest newsletter the possible Mac and iPad devices that Cupertino might release before the end of the year.
Next paragraph.
We reported a while ago that Apple may launch new iPad models and Macs with the company's latest M2 chip in October. The report came to us via famed Apple insider Mark Gurman, who, while mentioning the new Mac computers with M2, didn't specify whether the Macs would be MacBook Pro models, an updated Mac Mini, or a new Mac Pro. Mark Gurman now thinks that Cupertino will likely launch 2 new MacBook Pro models alongside refreshed Mac Minis and iPad Pros. In the latest edition of the Power On newsletter, Gurman believes that Apple will not hold a separate launch event for the upcoming devices like it did for the iPhone 14 series, but will reveal the new computers through press releases. The insider speculates that the devices can potentially include M2 and M2 Pro based Mac Minis, 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models with M2 Pro and M2 Max SoC S11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pros with an M2 chip. Gurman thinks that Apple will take the wraps off these devices before 2023. An interesting detail to note here is the lack of any mentions of the 10th gen iPad that the insider has previously hinted upon. The 10th gen iPad was rumored to feature an A14 Bionic chip with a USB-C port. Gurman offers no clues as to the fate of the entry-level iPad, so we don't know whether Apple has scrapped the device or pushed the release date back to 2023. Apple did a minor refresh of the MacBook Pro by offering the old chassis with the latest M2 chip earlier in the year. Although a solid performer, the device was a bit underwhelming with chunky bezels and an outdated design compared to the 2022 MacBook Air. Let's hope Apple finally launches a completely redesigned MacBook Pro to provide a substantial upgrade over its predecessor.
All right. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be today's Sunday's live stream for today. Cause guys, I don't have time for this because I got programs tomorrow. Just so yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated for more from the next topic for next week's Sunday's live stream. So yeah. So like and comment, subscribe, and let me know about it. So if you're gonna subscribe for more content to Privacy J Productions and to Privacy J Productions 2, all of my social medias will let you know all about it. Facebook, my name is Jaden Garcia, and Instagram is JTech727, and Snapchat is Scoots0727, and follow me on Twitter at PrivacyJNYC1. So thanks for watching and peace out.